Happy New Year's Eve. So, this New Year's Eve, I actually chose to stay home and really get clear about my upcoming year. My husband's working anyway, he typically does on New Year's Eve, and I'm just really taking the energy towards today and putting it towards creating a really solid plan for myself for 2020. Whatever you're choosing to do to celebrate tonight is wonderful. I was just feeling really drawn to be still and walk into tomorrow with a lot of clarity about what the direction I'm heading. Before I started doing my own nutrition coaching business, I worked as a dietitian in geriatric nutrition. So I was working with end of life and hospice, people losing their mobility and their independence. And, it was really tough. But do you know what the biggest regret that people have before they die? This was actually from the top 5 regrets of dying from that book. But people say that I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself and not the life that others expect of me. I'm going to say that again. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself and not the life that others expect of me. So raise your hand if you are living a life that you feel others are expecting of you to live. And to be honest, over this past month with the holidays, seeing a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a while, people definitely, questioned and looked at me funny about what I was doing, because a lot of things that I'm doing are against the grain of what society considers to be success. And I chose to believe in my heart what I'm doing is true to my heart, and I'm feeding the faith and not the fear instead. So there's definitely 2 voices that are inside of us, and you can look at it whatever way resonates with you, but you can think of it as like the devil and the angel, or there's a book that refers to them as the 2 wolves. But the fear inside of us is going to feed the anxiety and the uncertainty and the indecision and the inaction. And the faith inside of us is going to feed the calm and the confidence and the enthusiasm and the excitement. And you absolutely have both of these feelings, but which one wins? And the one that wins is the one that you choose to feed. And we have a choice, and that should be very empowering. Typically, because of old conditioning and instincts, we typically feed the fear because that feels safe and we don't have to make a decision usually. But just like you made the choice to feed the fear, you get the choice to feed the faith inside of you. So I just want you to kind of reflect on what are you choosing to really feed this year, your faith or the fear that's surrounding that. But I just wanted to share with you some ways to set yourself up for success this year. So I have kind of an outline of different ways to do this. And the first thing I want you to do is to stop for a minute and you can close your eyes, but imagine what life would look like if you aimed for what you actually wanted. So this can be in many aspects. This can be with your body, your bank account, your confidence, your relationships, your career, the home you want to live in. So once you have an idea of what that is, what does it feel like to actually live this way? And this is really key. We often set goals, but we never take the time to feel what it actually feels like to have this goal. So say you want to be 20 pounds lighter. So actually think about what that feels like to you. What does that mean to you? What are you doing? What do you look like? What does that feel like inside of you? Our brain does not know the difference between perception and reality. It literally doesn't. It knows what we tell it, what our thoughts and our beliefs are. So when we feel this, we can picture it, and then we believe it, and then it actually can happen. So I want you to think about at December 31st, 2020, what is that moment in time going to feel like for you next year? And then we can proceed the steps to get there. Because life is too short to be stuck in the I should have, I would have game. So when you're writing your list, I want the title to be how I want to show up in 2020. And then what will you do to get there? Not what do I want to do, but what will you do? Because how you word things is very powerful in reframing that thought process. And then who is the person that you need to become to reach these goals? So you literally have to embody these characteristics of the person that you need to be to achieve these goals. Do you need to take relentless action? Do you need to follow up and show up every day? Do you need to value your health and your self-development above all else? And what does that mean to you? And what do you need to do to embody that? And then staying focused on the process. So when we visualize the process, you actually start to show up differently than visualizing just the outcome, because you're putting your brain in the steps of the process. You're breaking it up into smaller steps, and then we can actually get to the outcome more feasibly that way. Does your environment match your goals? So this is really important, and a lot of times we think this is something that we don't have control over, but we actually do. So if you take careful inventory of your relationships and your environment, so who do you surround yourself with? Are they not adding to your goals? And you are really obligated to edit the time that you're spending with these people. So who do you need to spend more time with? Who do you need to spend less time with? And, being very thoughtful about your time and who you're spending it with and how you're spending it. Who adds to your life and who do you need to spend less time with? And then in terms of your home and your environment, like how is that contributing to your goal? If you're living in like clutter and you have all this stuff and it's just like making you feel overwhelmed, donate, sell things, get rid of things, and just like clear space for your mind and your brain to focus. And then I want you to launch your year. So take your 1-year goal and think backwards. So what can I do this month, this week, today, and then now? And to start to backwards design the goal, and it makes it much more achievable. You cannot expect to reach your goal being the same person in the same environment, with the same habits, the same lifestyle, mindset, and knowledge. It's like wanting to be a dentist with no training or skills or knowledge or patience. You can't do it. So reaching your goals has to become about embodying the person that you need to be to sustain your goals long term. So this is the long road. This is not a short-term fix. This is the work, but what are you investing in right now? And if it's a temporary solution, you will get a temporary result likely, and you'll end up back where you started and maybe a month behind. So just to kind of reiterate, that was a lot of information, a lot of action items, but imagine your life when you actually aim big. What does it feel like to live this way? How do I want to show up in 2020? Who is the person I need to become to reach these goals? Stay focused on the process rather than the outcome. Does your environment match your goals? Launch your year and backward design your goals. And then the last thing is share your goals. Have someone hold you accountable. And if you don't believe in your goals, nobody else will. So this is really powerful. That was a lot of information. I'm going to stop there, but I truly hope that you're enjoying your New Year's Eve tonight, however you choose to spend it. Hi, Charlotte. Good to have you. And I wish you so much success in 2020. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. And I will see you soon. Happy New Year. Good night.